Hello, thank you for listening. This is the near death experience of Amanda, and Amanda's experience occurred on September 4th, 1995, and was documented on August 20th of 2018. Open quote. Labor Day weekend in 1995, I had been depressed for multiple reasons and suffered from depression and anxiety. I had gotten into a big argument with my mom, and my longtime boyfriend was gone. That was the last straw for me. I actually didn't plan to kill myself. I just wanted to be numb and not feel anything. I didn't even know what I was taking. I just knew it was strong because my mom had just had spinal surgery again. I took some pills, and then I didn't feel like anything was happening, so I took some more. There were some other family members over that day in celebration of the holiday. While I was wandering around the house looking for more pills, I stumbled and caught the attention of my aunt. I went back to my room. At some point, the fact that I stumbled didn't set right with my aunt, so she came to check on me. I didn't respond when she knocked several times. Finally, she opened the door. She found me barely breathing, face down and in a puddle of foam that was coming out of my mouth. My huge uncle tried carrying me down the stairs to our car, but I became aggressive. They had a hard time getting me into the car, despite being close to death. They got me loaded into the car. I remember bits and pieces of the ride to the hospital because I was in and out of consciousness. About 3 miles from the hospital, the last thing I remember was a Pizza Hut sign. I babbled something about not wanting to go there. Then everything went black. When I was aware again, I was on a gurney that was moving fast down a corridor. I was surrounded by many people who surrounded me while talking fast. Then it went black, and I was gone again. I was with someone this time. It was male in appearance, but I was unable to see his face. I wasn't concerned by not seeing it either. We soared through the sky, and I saw many things. I saw good and bad things that I had done. I saw things that could happen and some other random things. The being who was with me spoke to me without using his mouth. We could think and communicate through our minds. I was totally comfortable, like I had done this before. At no time was I scared. Then I was shocked back into my body. It was like I'd get sucked back into darkness, then I'd be awake again. I heard doctors saying that they didn't retrieve any pills from my stomach, and they needed active charcoal to be given to me right away. I was very aggressive every time I came back. I had a ton of strength when trying to get them away from me, and I was pulling tubes out of my body. I remember saying that I was going to vomit the charcoal back up. They said, "No, you will be fine." Then I vomited all over. Right after that, I flatlined again. This time, it went black, and the next thing I knew, I was rising out of my body. I looked at my body like it was an interesting object, but otherwise, I was indifferent to it. Then I floated away. I say floated away because that's what it felt like. If I looked down, it was like there was no floor. And if I looked up, it was like there was no ceiling in this multiple-story hospital. I watched a lot of doctors and nurses trying desperately to get me back. I watched my body being repeatedly shocked, and they gave me various drugs, but to no avail. I lost interest in the scene below and floated through a wall. Then I came out the other side. I went right through my mom and aunt. They didn't have a clue that I had just come through the wall behind them and came straight through them both. My mom was bent forward in her chair with her face in her hands. She was crying so hard, and my aunt was leaned towards my mom with her arm around her and her head on my mom's shoulder trying to console her. That was the very first time in the whole ordeal that I felt anything. I felt sorry for my mom and briefly thought I shouldn't leave her. I got sucked in backwards into darkness. It stayed dark until I woke from a coma 3 days later in an intensive care unit. I was clinically dead, but could tell them what they, the doctors, had done to me and could repeat what they were telling each other to do with me during all of this. They were astonished by all the information I had. I had always had strong senses to things around me, But now it's much more heightened. I'm not afraid to die. I do not believe in any specific religion because no one religion has any clue what it is actually like on the other side. If I had to say what it was like, I'd say it's like being in a different dimension. I was right there and could see and hear everyone around me, but no one could tell I was there. This was not the first incident where I died. I was born dead, to the point that they called my time of death. The doctor was in the process of telling my parents he was sorry, that there was nothing he could do. At that moment, a nurse was wrapping me up so my parents could say goodbye to me. I just started breathing. After another incident when I was 18 months old, my parents were having a big pool party at our house, and one of their drunk friends fell into the pool. Unfortunately, I was walking by. As it happened, his foot got trapped in my diaper. No one realized that I was in the pool, too, until someone saw me at the bottom of our pool. I was not breathing, and they had to do CPR to get me back. I've also been struck by lightning in August of 2000 at the county fair where we lived. It's always been one thing or another. I definitely see things others don't. My anxiety is worse because I see a broader view of things around me. Nothing to fear in death. Being alive on this planet is scary enough. End quote. Thank you, Amanda. Amanda, I thought that your description of floating away was pretty awesome. You say, then you looked at your body and thought it was interesting, an interesting object, but otherwise you were indifferent to it. That's kind of cool. And I floated away. I say I floated away because that's what it felt like. If I looked down, it's like there was no floor. And if I looked up, there was no ceiling. That's kind of neat. You wonder, people floating through the ceiling or, the walls or whatever, if they see the different things that I've heard some people do. And then some people, your description of it, I thought was pretty awesome. There are some questions here. Amanda. Question, did you feel separated from your body? Answer, yes, I watched myself float out of my body. I was indifferent to it. My body was just a capsule in my mind. I was aware of what was going on. I knew I was dead. Did time seem to speed up or slow down? Answer, time does not seem to exist, or it is much different than ours. Comparing your hearing, answer, I heard everything that was going on around me, and the being that was with me, I could hear him too. Question, did you see an unearthly light? Answer, yes, but not like the one people talk about. It's just brighter on that side. Question, did you seem to enter some other unearthly world? Answer, I had no strong feelings about anything, but could see and hear so much around me, all my other senses seemed heightened. Question, what emotions did you feel during your experience? Answer, I felt no strong feelings until the end when I saw my mom crying. Question, did you suddenly seem to understand everything? Answer, I came back from my mom. Besides that, I'm here for the animals and my family. I didn't used to believe in an afterlife or religion. I still don't believe in religion. I call it basic common sense. Now I believe in life beyond this one, and I'm not afraid to die. Question, did scenes from the future come to you? Answer, not at that moment, but since then I have had many instances where I know things I shouldn't. Question, did you have a change in your values and beliefs because of your experience? Answer, yes. I didn't believe in an afterlife. Now I do. Question, what life changes occurred in your life after your experience? I see everything differently now. Question, was the experience difficult to express in words? Answer, uncertain. When I first experienced it, the experience was clearer. I could remember word for word what people were saying around me, even though I should not have heard anything since I was dead. I do remember it very vividly to this day, but I cannot remember everything that was said at that time. Question, do you have any psychic, non-ordinary, or other special gifts after your experience that you did not have before the experience? Answer, yes. It's just heightened, and I sense things around me much more than others. I can read a lot about a person just by looking them in their eyes. Sometimes I can do this with a picture. Question, are there one or several parts of your experience that are especially meaningful or significant to you? Answer, the worst experience was putting my family through it to begin with, but I'm happy to have experienced it. Question: have you ever shared this experience with others? Answer: yes, as often as I can do it, so the memory stays as fresh as possible. Most think it's interesting, and others doubt me. Question: is there anything else that you would like to add about your experience? Answer: I think we may be here because of extraterrestrial beings, but I've never said that to anyone before because they'll think I'm crazy. Thank you, Amanda. I appreciate you sharing your awesome story with us. I enjoyed reading it, and I hope you guys out there enjoyed listening to it. Have a great day.